welcome to this week's Plan With Me. Today we're going to focus on memory planning, and whether you're a novice or you've been scrapbooking for years, stick around because I have some helpful tips on how to incorporate everyday planning into your life and how to make it seamless and not get overwhelmed when you've gotten too far behind. The first thing you need when you're doing a memory spread is photos. Are you waiting in line to pick them up? Your dog when you're taking your dog for a walk. These are little details that we're going to want to remember. So I try to take as many as I can, and that way when it's time to memory plan, you have everything in front of you. You don't have to go back and think, what did I do? It's all on your phone, and even the dates on the phone of every picture. So that's always good to have. All right, step 2. The next thing we need is to print these photos out, and there are lots of options. The first one I want to talk about is the HP Sprocket. This is a light portable printer. It is the coolest thing. Kids love it. They're great at parties. The photos actually comes in little packs of 10, and they come out through here, and you connect it to your phone. It's very easy to print out pictures. The pros of this is that it's simple and easy and fun. The cons of this are it takes forever to get about 5 or 6 photos. That would take about 20 minutes. So if I'm doing 2 weeks, I'm not going to use my Sprocket. And the photos are actually kind of blurry too, so if the quality of the photos matter to you. Also, the fun thing about this one though is that they come with a sticky back. So you just peel and stick, so that makes it really fun. It's a fun product. I love it, it's fun, but it's not necessarily what I use, and it's not the most convenient when you're memory planning. So your second option for printing photos is the Canon Selfie. This is also pretty portable. You can take it to parties, but you do have to plug it in. It also comes with special paper that you can only use with the printer. The ink is embedded into the paper, so it just prints out. You don't have to worry about ink, just like the Sprocket. It's the same thing, the ink is in the paper. So that's pretty convenient, and the quality for the Selfie is much better. The thing is, you can only print 4x6 prints. So if you want the pictures to fit into the boxes of your memory planner, then you need to print 4 pictures on one 4x6 sheet of photo printer paper. So that's actually working in your favor because you're going to print 4 pictures at a time. So if you're going to do 1 week spread and you will have 8 pictures, then it's very quick. So you can probably shoot those out in 10 minutes. So this is a lot quicker than the Sprocket when you're printing things. The last option I have today to print pictures is a regular home printer, and I use my HP printer, and it comes with a subscription for ink that every time you're about to run out of ink, it automatically sends you more ink. So let's get these photos printed. I use an app called PicStitch, and I'm going to show you right now how to use it. So the app is going to appear on the right side of the screen. There it is. You click on the app PicStitch, and you're going to choose your layout. You have lots of options. You're going to choose a regular 4x4 on a square. You're going to change the aspect ratio to a 4x6, and you don't see it because it's on the bottom of the screen. It's kind of cut off. Once you pick that, you go to your photos. You'll choose the photos you want to use. They'll come up in just a second. You choose 4 photos, and then you drag them into the spaces that you want them to appear. Here I'm just picking photos. I scroll down. Choose more, and then you don't see it on the bottom here, but that you just drag and click. That's what I'm doing now. And you can change it once even if the orientation is not correct, you can always change it, make something bigger or smaller. There I'm changing my dog, go back and forth. It's very intuitive, very easy app. Once it's done, you save it. And there you go, you're ready to memory plan. So there are my pictures already printed from my home printer, and now the fun can begin. That was a lot of explanation. But once you get that down, it seems really complicated, but once you get it down, it is pretty simple. So I'm starting to cut my pictures. I realize it's much easier with a trimmer. I wasn't sure if my trimmer was working, but it is. So I continue with my trimmer, and I'm trimming all my photos down. Of course, you can do 4x6 photos. Of course, you can do 3x5 photos. But if you want to keep things simple, this is the easiest way. These are for the weeks that you really need to just get it done. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just needs to get done. So once I do all my photos, I cut them all, I decide which ones I'm going to use. I don't always use all the photos I have for the week. but I always save them just in case I want to use a photo for a different day. Things don't have to be on the exact day that they happened either, unless that's important to you. But it's not to me. Like a year down the road, I really don't care if it was on a Tuesday or Wednesday that we had this meal. It was just a certain moment that I wanted to remember. So I'm still doing all these photos. I pick them out and I choose where they want to go, where I want them to be. So if something happens, usually if something happens in the morning, just like my planning, I'll put it on the top. If something was in the afternoon, it would be in the middle square. And if something happens at night, it would be in the bottom square. Now, if I have a lot of pictures for just the bottom square, I will mix it up. And for this particular spread, it happened to be like a checkerboard. I happened to make them all. It happened to be on a perfect checkerboard. You'll see. I don't like to have like everything in the middle or everything on top. I want to keep things balanced and spread out, just so it's easier on the eye. I want to mix things up. So once I have that, I keep the rest for the next week, and I use a Tombow adhesive roller to adhere everything to the page. This is pretty simple. It takes less than 5 minutes. Okay, the fun can begin. Once the pictures are down, I take out my sticker books that I want to use. And for this spread, I want to keep things light and fun, so I pick the most colorful things that I can find. And I especially like to use my journaling cards. These are great because it adds extra space for writing things down. And if you wanted to write something down that you didn't want everyone to just be able to read right away, something a little more private, it's great for those secret memories. Maybe something's a little too sentimental that you didn't want just anyone to see. But I do like the colors, so I will put a few down. It makes the page more interesting to be able to open something. And you can also decorate the front of them. They're very easy to lift off if you make a mistake, if it's not perfectly centered. Now, they're not the same size as the boxes in the Big Memory Planner, but that's never bothered me at all. I think it's nice to have that border around. So here I'm going to add my mild liners, and I'm going to start with some rainbows. I'm right in this rainbow kick right now. Everything right now in my life is with rainbows. So I'm extending that to my memory planner. Now usually with my mild liners, I like to make boxes around my journaling, and that was fun, but I thought I'd try something different, and I'm using them as journaling lines. So I'm just going to make my lines, and I'm going to use those as lines for journaling. And I'm starting with the bottom with the purple there, just to make sure it's centered. If I started with red down there, I wouldn't know if I had enough room. I don't know if I'm making myself clear. But if I started with red, I might have had my spacing wrong. So I'm finishing up. I added some rainbows across the 2 pages. And now I can just fill it in with my journaling. Or actually, I'm going to add a few more journaling cards before I do that. Now this one's blank, so I think I'm going to add some stickers for some interest. And I think I'm going to add some rainbow stickers to that, actually, to go find some. Let's see, I'm going through my student sticker book, and I believe there's some really cute rainbows. This one's a perfect one for the week. Happy vibes, but that's what I had all week long. The weather's been great, the end of spring, the beginning of summer. So that's kind of the vibe I'm going for. Really love those scalloped stickers, but I'm going to save those. Adding some more rainbows. Do I keep it or not? I don't even remember. What did I do? Oh, I did use that. Or maybe I didn't. I did take it off. So I'm going to take out my Amy Tangerine book and try to find a cute little quote, a rainbow quote for this spread. Now there's enough rainbow stickers in my other books so that I don't have to use more than just 1 or 2 stickers from the Amy Tangerine book. I want to keep that for as long as I can. So I'm going to go through the other books and try to find some other rainbow things to fill out the other spaces. Some other quotes, going through Sassy Plans. That's a really really colorful one. And I did do some adulting today, so one of those stickers says I adulted. So I'm going to find that sticker and put it on Friday. So now I think I'm ready to start my journaling. It's pretty simple. I try to think of details that happened during the week and put them next to the pictures. Simple as that. I don't pre-plan what I write, I just write as I go along. I don't think about it. Whatever pops in my head, whatever details I remember, goes on the page. You can also use your planner as reference. You had a meeting, even if you don't have a picture of that meeting, you could talk about the meeting. This is pretty straightforward. I don't worry about the quality of my handwriting. Although I do recommend practicing and finding a style that works for you. I write in all caps, and that seems to work for me. It's my particular style, and I can do it very quickly without it looking too much like chicken scratch. So if there's a certain style, please practice and develop a style that works for you, that looks clean and neat and presentable, and most importantly, quick, because if it takes you forever, you're not going to get it done. If I make a mistake, I have some Tipp-Ex, one of those roller Tipp-Ex things, but I rarely use it. And for this it would be bad because I'm doing it on mod liners. It'd be very tough to cover it. Okay, now that the journaling seems to be done, I'm going to go and look through my books again and look for some more quotes and some more details. Because for me, this is the fun part. And this is the part where I can take a little extra time because for me, this is fun and relaxing. And so I go for different details, different circles that I can cut off the sides. I like those long strips, those quotes that come in strips too, that go over a photo and into the journaling. This is a really good book for that. Love these circles. And I cut the side of the circle so it looks cute coming out from the side of that box. I think the circles reinforces like the rainbow theme, so not everything is straight. Now if I put a circle one side of the page, I'll usually end up putting one on the other. And I usually do things in threes. So I probably will put another circle in there somewhere, perhaps a smaller one. So once I'm finished with my details, I can step back and take a look, and I decide that I'd like to change the numbers on the top. They weren't really whimsical enough for me. This is the Farmhouse big planner, and I thought the numbers were a little too neutral for my taste. Actually, the whole planner is too neutral for my taste. I'm all for neutral planners for your classic, for my actual planning, but my memory planning, it was a little too dull. So I decided to add these stickers from the Amy Tangerine book that would really spice things up and totally make the page look fun and whimsical. The only reason why I have the Farmhouse book was because I got it on clearance, but I really do love the colorful ones. And once I start a memory planner, I can't change it. It's not like a regular planner that I can change all the time. My memory planner, I do like to keep throughout the year. If I start it, I will stick with it. And now I'm on year 3. I did Project Life for 1 year, and this is my 2nd year of memory planning with a Happy Planner. And I gotta say, it's the most practical, wonderful style for me. It's so easy. So this is my finished spread. I think it's done. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week for another Plan With Me.